More Heroes Lounge action as we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen this time. We got Hit the Core against the Quack team. Division 2 in the amateur scene. Isnes on Zool in the best of 3 series. We got Silver Jojo on Tyrande. Wrong hero with that name. Dwergman on Leoric. We got Kara on Thrall and Wookie on Jaina. Vlida is playing Jojo for the red team. We got the Quack team over on the right side with Saren on Brightwing, Angois on Sylvanas, Bioza on Tychus, and Vetters is playing Dehaka. So, Division 2, everybody. Again, we got a couple of tournaments coming up in the near future. First, we have an Underdog Cup that kicks off 2026, a bit of an amateur tournament that we're going to run. Actually starts in a couple of days. And then the big one. The massive $10,000 prize money Nations Cup that starts at the end of the month, on the 31st to be exact, is going to be absolutely fantastic. We have slowly and steadily teams signing up for the Nations Cup, and it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Make sure that you spread the word a little bit. Keep in mind, teams can still sign up, so if you want to form a team for your country, you can still do that. The rules are also linked. You can jump in on the Discord if you have any questions as well. The only question that we currently have is how Jojo died this quickly, because first blood in the game has already been achieved. They were able to take down one of the heroes on the red team. Thrall, obviously, with the pinnacle reward here, going for the Maelstrom weapon, as you would expect, so comes in swinging. Definitely one of the winners of the recent patch. Sylvanas also slightly changed, has now on the baseline black arrows as a quest and a pinnacle reward here. I have to point it out still, obviously. We haven't seen her in Meta Madness, which was the first tournament that ran in the new patch. For very obvious reasons, she was permabanned. She was not allowed to be picked in Meta Madness at all. Made for some fun stuff, but here in Heroes Lounge, obviously, you don't have too many restrictions when it comes to hero pools. So that makes things a little bit more interesting with the newly changed heroes, as we're going to get to see essentially all of them. So right now, in game number 1, big aggression at the bottom of the map, and Sylvanas is gone. Sylvanas gets eliminated. That's 2 kills to 0. A drag from the Haka, but Hit the Core is starting off quite nicely. It's a fantastic team name, by the way. It's really good advice for Heroes of the Storm. Hitting the core is most of the time the way to go. And it's also a nice reminder, I suppose, when they are fighting in the opponent's base, that it might be a good idea to try and win the game by going for the main structure. So, yeah, not quite sure if it's so much as a team name or a mantra or just simply a reminder of what they need to do in order to win the video game. Top damage on your heroes or the most kills is not necessarily what wins you the match. On level 4, we get Ghastly Reach for Leorki. Level 1 already coming in with Consume Vitality. And, yeah, blue team is off to a decent start here. Top side, they got a bit careful with Isnes. We get the Wolf connected. Thrall, currently on 4 stacks. Not insane. But yeah, for Sylvanas, we have as usual Haunting Arrows on level 4. And we get in the rhythm for Tychus. Went straight into the grenade build initially, but still comes through within the rhythm. So trying to get more from his trade and a longer duration. We'll see how that works out for him. Now, Thrall stacking even more aggressively would of course be nice for them. Turn-ins happening already. The blue team trying to safeguard the gems that they have. I always like to see that, especially on the amateur level. There's so many kills that normally happen there. So if you're able to just move in and get yourself a few of those connected, that's always great. So yeah, looking quite good here. Thrall goes down and so does Jaina, so it seems like with a bit of a fierce counterplay, we're now having a Quack team coming back with a vengeance, getting the double from Jojo. 7 stacks also for Tychus, so he's starting this up. And let's see if the red team can even pull ahead here. Nice back and forth to start the game off. I really like that. So we got that. We have now down at the bottom of the map the Haka doing his thing. To be fair, blue team very close to get their turn in. They have 44 delivered. They only need to deliver another 6. The red team hasn't turned in any gems yet, but they have the numbers. They definitely have the numbers here. Question is just, can they secure them? 30 stacks for Sylvanas, 13 for Tychus. And yeah, Thrall, not that much. I would honestly like to see him at the bot lane maybe a bit more to try and get stacks in there. They have Leoric in that situation or in that position. But it just means that Thrall, at least for now, is not getting a whole lot out of his level 1 talent. Now we're only 4 minutes in, but still, that's kind of noteworthy that he's struggling on that end. turn-in still hasn't happened. Not a single gem has been delivered by Quack Team. The best that could happen for Hit the Core is them turning in and then with a Web Weaver push also get some kills and remove gems from the opponent. Tigers, on the other hand, with a bit of a hybrid build here, coming in with a Relentless Soldier on level 7. He has 21 stacks on level 4 now. So he's actually getting some decent stacks here. Yep, that definitely works. Turn in, talking about things that work. Turn in at the bot lane also worked. That's the first set of Web Weavers, the first objective for Hit the Core. Hit him and hit him hard. So, yep. Some stuns quickly coming out. Careful though. That's not the moment where you want to lose their support. Yeah, that's Tyrande barely surviving. But the girl made it. So good for her. And off we go. Web Weaver's coming and party time. Talking about things that are going to arrive soon, by the way. Has anybody checked out the trailers for Hail Mary and for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? I mean, one obviously being an adaptation of a book that I read that was recommended by actually one of the viewers here on the stream, and which was a fantastic book from the same author that wrote The Martian. But I just saw recently the trailer of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and I don't know what to make of it. But it made me really interested in the movie. It looks like something that could be either very, very stupid and really, really bad, or it could be genius. About as genius as the kill against Zul that we just saw, and the double kill. That's the end of Jaina, and they are nearly killing Thrall. Weren't able to grab him, but really cool play from Jaina. Initially just really eager to defend the topside fort. And then Sylvana sees an opportunity. They come in and they get the kill on Zul. They drop Jaina. They get some stacks in for the team. Defeat everything in the middle and also secure themselves the fort at the bottom of the map. So, nicely done. The red team is starting to take more and more control here. They still haven't turned anything in yet, but they haven't lost a lot. They lost 3 heroes in total. And losing some gems, yes, par for the course, but still. If they turn in and bring some of that momentum to bear on the blue team, they might be able to pull ahead now. With level 10 abilities, the dynamic, of course, oftentimes changes. And now we have Odin, 39 stacks for Tychus. We get Blessed Shield. We have Mind Control, so nice follow-up on any stun that they can throw out there. With Zul at least not making... Well, there it is. Poison Nova. And we also got on top of that Starfall. With a nice Entomb, they could do a lot. Leoki goes down. Gems on the ground, and they get collected by Thrall, who's now on 12 stacks. 12 stacks, still far away from getting to the second reward, which is one of the most impactful here. If you get to the 55, then you're golden. But even for reward number 1, they still need a lot more. The Web Weavers, they will come down for the red team, so they have their next objective as well. 21,000 damage for Tychus. Easy top damage in the game, followed by Sylvanas. And just after that, we see the blue team appearing in the leaderboard with 13,000 for Leoki. Thrall at 12k. So they still need... They have a long way to go to really build this up properly. But let's see if they can get there. The Quack team is certainly now eager to take some structures down. At the bottom of the map, we have Dehaka pushing up against Leoric. And, well, the Division 2 teams are starting to coordinate the attack against at least Leoric. Jump onto the bot lane, use Sylvanas as leverage on that push too, take out the towers quickly, and now go for the fort. In the middle, not too much has been accomplished there by the Web Weavers, but they are eager to at least get themselves one fort, and so far it looks like they're going to be able to pull that off. Fort at the bottom of the map is dead. Now it's just a question of how the fight works out. Sundering is in. There's the Entomb. Can they get the kill? Already some of them jumping out, and they're turning it actually. The blue team now in trouble and is trying to run away here. Tychus came in with a lot of damage through the minigun and got themselves tons of stacks, but they only get a single kill. They can only drop Leoric here. That's 6 kills to 3, but at least they pull ahead on the structural side and are also closing in on the mercenary camp at the bottom of the map, which will give them additional lane pressure there. The blue team with 72 gems though. They have the next turn in. Thrall alone is already at 55. I mean, if he turns in, that's a turn in right there. So it's a pretty interesting situation because they're not sending too many heroes over towards the turn-in spot. As it happens, they were busy at the bottom of the map, but they didn't really do anything here. So now the Web Weavers are coming down for Hit the Core. This is where the blue team really shines so far in this game. They are just way more diligent around their turn-ins and delivering the gems. And it pays off. They get that second turn-in, and they're generally ahead in gems. They turned way more in, they lost less. But can they do something with it? 2 of the forts are damaged. If they can take both of them out, that would be great. But we also have a lot of stacks here for Tychus already, and it shows whenever he activates his minigun. He gets good damage out and is dropping the front line. Odin gets very quickly used to try and deal with the mid lane, and that web waver is not going anywhere. Topside, the Haka is already defending, and at the bottom of the map, they push the lane out so aggressively earlier that the web weaver has a very long way to go, giving them more time to deal with the middle and the top and then rotate back down. So, yeah, Tychus works in the damage, takes a few of the minion waves out, takes the position, Water Elemental is eliminated, but Leoric is now arriving with the Web Weaver at the bottom fort, and there's nobody defending it currently. So this might be the first one that falls on the red team side. There's the drag, and that's the end of Jaina. Jaina gone. They're able to drop her, they might even be able to take Tyrande out, so that's both of them eliminated. Tyrande and Jaina gone. 8 kills, 2-3. Bottom fort has indeed been eliminated. Ooh, and I guess Sylvanas is not going to make it here. Yeah, Sylvanas gone. They were able to save the rest. Thrall with 17 stacks and the 13 talent follow-up as he went into the Grace of Air. But he gets still killed. Yeah, the Haka came in, murdered him, and now Isness goes down. That's 24 gems. And the Caster Curse strikes again. I just praised them for the performance around gems, not losing too many and always getting the turn-ins, delivering the gems and safeguarding them, and now they lost a huge chunk, and of course all the heroes, which is a big problem. It's 10 kills to 4, and it's brutal. Hit the Core is just losing way too many fights currently. And that results in them being behind in experience and very likely now losing more structures. 17 stacks on the side of Thrall with level 1 is just not enough to give them anything that they can leverage here. We're 11 minutes into the game and he hasn't unlocked the first quest reward yet. So that is a problem. If they are banking on him to deliver the damage, then we need to see more. Tychus by now with the armor piercing rounds. We have on level 16 the shrinking vacuum, so this push is coming at a perfect time. They have web weavers on the ground, they have a level 16 talent advantage, and they're going to try and use that. Sylvanas misses the hit, but here comes the push through the middle. Zul is dealing with the top lane. And let's see, there's the drag, and that's a kill. Tyrande gone. Now they don't have the sustain any longer here. Beautiful play once again. The Haka in particular has been delivering in the last few fights. Sylvanas at 105 stacks on the baseline now, so inching a bit closer to her first quest reward too. Big damage. Dives in deep, maybe too deep. Sylvanas barely survives. She makes it, but boy, that was quite the gamble. And it actually results in them not taking a fort out. They dove deep for kills, but they couldn't kill the structures. Tychus is dishing out the damage against Thrall, and they're also pushing Leoric back, but they are still not taking a structure out. There's damage done at the bottom of the map, to be fair, so yes, they opened the wall up here, but when you're looking at forts, they have now, finally, towards the back end of that fight, been able to take the mid lane out, but whew, I think they could have done maybe a bit more if they weren't that hungry for kills here. Again, worked out for them, though. They got at least a fort, push the bot lane out a bit, have more map control, can go for their own camps. On the damage side, we have now 50,000 for Thrall, 37,000 for Sylvanas. Thrall with... sorry, Tychus with 49,000. I think I said Thrall is second. Thrall is third in the ranking at 31,000. 4 kills to 11. And again, if Thrall is able to get more stacks and yeah, somehow unlocks the second quest reward, he could be that damage monster that they need, because they definitely need somebody here. Leo with the Entomb, but then he's the only one fighting, and he quickly becomes the target and gets killed. Tyrande is also in trouble. She gets eliminated, and that leaves us with Thrall at the top, and it's another kill. Thrall is down. It's a triple, baby. They come in with the big kills, and now there's the momentum. The Quack team. They're coming in, and they are wrecking. 14 kills to 4, and they're starting to absolutely dominate this. Death timers are rising. They're taking the fort out. They're already working on Is that really considered working on the boss if Brightwing is the only one attacking and then get also stunned out? They're at least keeping it active. But down at the bottom of the map, for example, the Haka, he's now pushing Zul away from the Siege Giant camp that they got earlier. They all... Oh my god, no way. No way. Monster. Yeah, he might have gotten a bit too greedy. Leorki is not respecting the 1v1. So the Haka is... No way, he gets away. Nice. He actually makes it. What a boss move. I guess you could argue that he got a little bit lucky there too, but he is able to survive, and he nearly killed Zul. If Leoric had respected the 1v1, that would have been a kill. 92 stacks now for Tychus. That's a really nice extension on the minigun timer. So yeah, fantastic for him. Gets the attacks in, they can work on the next turn in, and they get the webby wave. So for the blue team, it's really just suffering on the horizon and nothing else. They have to somehow withstand the pressure, soak the experience, and it will be difficult, particularly when we're thinking about level 20 possibly connecting in a few moments for the Quack team. Yeah. Web Weavers are now coming down, and they clearly want the keeps. And they should be able to get at least one. Level 20 will be there any moment now. And once those Storm Talents are in, whew, Tychus can drop the big red button and push with them. I don't like that. That's fair. Like, I mean, seriously, you wait one more second and you have big red button. So that's a weird choice to make here. It's still probably going to be successful. He went for can do this all day. Okay, fair enough. So going a different path here. We've seen that now before. Thrall insta-kill, by the way. That's not good. That's supposed to be a top damage dealer here together with Jaina, and the two of them die immediately. Sylvanas also gone. And by the way, talking about things that are gone, I think we can agree that keep is gonzo as well. So one keep down. The one at the top lane, by the way, is about to be eliminated by the Web Weavers. And this is likely going to be game 2. If they can get another kill here, then it's just lights out. Topside keep gets attacked. Zul is trying to hold it. But the red team is now working the shield on the core with level 20 talents. They have all the tools they need. Only Sylvanas is missing currently. But yeah, shield gone. Can they take the core out though? Do they have enough here? They're getting a lick on Leorki, but they might not be able to end the game here. The defense might actually be holding this for a bit longer, and indeed it does. So the top keep has not fallen. Core is not getting dropped yet. They have to retreat, but they have a mad advantage now. And any pressure through the top lane will deliver the top keep too. If you compare that to the red team, who have only lost the fort at the bottom of the map, but nothing else, structurally, this is a really good spot. The one chance for hit the core is the level 20 talent that they're about to unlock. Once they have that, that's when technically they could try and make their comeback. So, who knows? Maybe they have an opportunity here to make this happen. But as is, we're now seeing for, well, Tyrande the Shooting Star. We have Mortal Wound in here. Leo upgrading his level 10. And we get Wind Fury or Wind Rush for Thrall. Still at 18 stacks. So he hasn't unlocked his first quest reward yet. Needs 25 for that. So Thrall's damage accordingly at 37,000. Still top damage for the team. But you can see how both Leoric and Zul are close. And then you compare it to what we're seeing from Tychus and from Sylvanas. And yeah, they're just way ahead. Way ahead here. Then again, blue team gets a turn in. Now it's level 20 versus level 20 talents. They get their turn in. There's an opportunity here. Sylvanas is missing her ult. But, of course, by now the cooldown is just ridiculously low. Yeah, this is the thing with... once you go into Dark Lady's Call, it's just absolutely crazy. You can YOLO that thing out like a normal ability. Tychus instantly with Odin. Just want to defend the fort as best as they can. The Haka is dealing with the top down here. Jojo moving out, comes in, they're turning it, or trying to, and Isness is low. Quest completed for Jaina. What about Jojo though? Brightwing is coming to the rescue. Sylvanas is jumping out, the fort is gone. Leorki is dead, as now the Haka is coming in, has abandoned the top lane defense, which means that the Web Weaver is likely going to get another fort, but they're starting the kills, and there it is, Sylvanas with a connect and the kill on Jaina. The entire team now on the run. If they're losing more, they will likely lose the game right then and there. Somehow Thrall makes it. Zul has to die though. With 47 gems, yeah, he eats the grenade. Cosplayers Bruno Mars takes the grenade for them straight to the face. And that's 2-3 heroes down now. They're defending the bottom keep. Sylvanas is dealing with the top lane. Could, I suppose, technically make a move straight for the core here. Maybe a bit too risky. They have the gems more or less to get a turn in themselves. And with the Haka now going for the next minion wave at the bottom of the map, they will have enough in just a moment. If they are just turning in, they're fine. If they go for the boss, they have, of course, another tool that they can leverage too. So there's plenty of opportunities now for them to get to a point where they can take this. The Haka at the bottom of the map, just taking the waves out here, can then turn in. Just has to be careful that he doesn't get killed, because at this point they're actually ganking up on him. And you know what? He might not make it. Sundering interrupts the he's dead. The Haka is dead. Yep. That's the gems all gone. And at least we now have the boss at the top. So that's the keep gone. Blue team is going to lose their top side keep, but they're not going to lose the game here. That was a nice rotation. Bit of an obvious one. The Haka very, very close to escaping. But yeah, him dying shut that aggression down for now. So the only thing that the red team can do is basically move in, take the remaining cams, go on a couple of waves, get the gems there. They know that they get the top side keep for free now, but they are not going to get more than that. Keep is going to be eliminated and that's it. I would be surprised if the core loses a hit point here. So 34 gems that can be turned in. Some get instantly delivered, so yeah, they definitely learned a lesson here. It's kind of frustrating. The Haka had a lot. And most of them. And Thrall is now getting very close, 20 minutes into the game, 21, to at least get one quest reward. So, yeah. That would already help them a little bit. Oh, blessed shield. Yeah, with Leo at the bot lane, it's a 4 versus 4. But Tychus is dead. The blue team is starting to get some kills here. Isness dodges the tongue. In comes Isolation. Thrall is dead, though. Has at least gotten the first quest reward. They have a nice block on Jaina, but she's only delaying the inevitable. That's a kill. 21 kills to 7. I mean, damn, son. 21 kills. Triple the kills that we are seeing from Hit the Core. So, yeah. Tigers is still missing. They can steal the camps away. Can they go for more? Unlikely. Unless, of course, they get more kills now. And, well, talking about it, Leorki is dead again. How many times did he die? We're not talking single digits here, but Jaina has died 6 times. Leo and Thrall both with 5 deaths. The only one that hasn't died in the entire game is actually Brightwing. Saren's the only one that hasn't died so far. And now, with only 2 defenders for the next couple of seconds, they're looking at that mid-keep, and they're like, well, juicy target, let's go and drop that too. Or at least start damaging it. And why wouldn't they? Sylvanas, by the way, now with the 250 stacks. So at this point, we have the extra damage with the black arrows, boosting that to 50%. So quest reward is in for her. And they also got the keep itself. So the only structure that is still standing for the blue team is the core. And again, close to the turn-in, by the way. Very, very close to the turn-in in the Web Weavers. You can see, I mean, at this point, they're looking at 2 gems and they're like, yeah, let's turn that in. If they would have done the same thing earlier with the 30 that they had for the Arca, this would have already been over. But here comes the Blessed Shield. Oh my god, choke point galore! That's a really close space, and everybody is unleashing the AoE damage as quickly as they can. Red team low thanks to the Poison Nova too, but Jaina and Leoric are the 2 that are dying. Sylvanas gets murdered. In comes Thrall. He's trying to get the counter kills, and it's actually Jojo that is extremely low here too. They're all trying to get away, but the trade once more beneficial, and then the Haka just tries to turn it. Might get them kills, but he also gets dropped. So they take down Zul, they lose the Haka. Tyrande gets murdered. I mean, it's an absolute bloodbath all of a sudden. Everybody dead or dying. Thrall gets hit by the grenade, gets polied, and they're going to cut his path of retreat off. Thrall will fall too. It's a 5-man team wipe. The entire team gets murdered. 9 kills to 27, so they're maintaining the 1-3 ratio here. In the mid lane, we have catapults pushing in, we have the camp on the way, and the team is now obviously on the move. Leo has respawned, but he alone is not going to be able to make a difference here. No, that's going to be game. The lead in this series goes to the Quack team. They're taking the lead in all of this. They're able to take that one quickly. The core now slowly falling, and yep, with 28 kills as they're dropping Norik. There's only Jaina that is still alive here, as we are a little bit in a full-on loop on this one. But yep, the core hasn't seen gone down. So yeah, we have at the top the thing. I don't know why this played like 3-4 times right now, but the fight was apparently so glorious that the entire replay system decided that we would go through that a few more times. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that battle, because I think by now you're sick of it. GG, the Quack team with a victory in game number 1. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Map number 2! So, this time we're not stuck in the instant replay loop, so yeah, my apologies for that. I'm not quite sure what exactly went wrong there. We got the Quack team on the left this time, so they switched sides with Leader on Tyrael here on Dragonshire. We got Saren on Ana, Angois on Sylvanas again. Veteras is playing Hogger this time instead of the Haka, and then we got Bayoza on Jaina. Over on the right side of the map, hit the core with Kara on Falstad, so from one pinnacle quest hero into the next. Isnes is playing Jojo, we got Dwergman on Rexa, Wookie on Zagara, and Silver Jojo is playing Rhaegar. So, let's go. Let's see who is going to take the win. And actually, when it comes to the quests, we get the Dishonorable Discharge over here. So we're going full Lightning Rod with the Pinnacle reward. Definitely one that is fairly achievable. Already the aggression in the middle, as you would of course expect on a map like this. So we got globals only on one side this time. Still a lot of mobility, of course, with at least Sylvanas. And depending on what Hogger decides to do on level 10, we could also see him with some aggression there. But yeah, I'm here for it. The game number 1 was actually quite nice, and so game number 2, let's see what they can pull off here. The baseline quests are already starting to slowly pull forward. Obviously, with Ana in play, we can get some really nice nano boosts for particularly Jaina, but also Sylvanas, depending on the situation. Zagara, as so often now on Dragonshire, is definitely here that you see a lot. And again, reminder, these are all Division 2 matches that we are seeing here. Level 4 now, 20 stacks is what you need first, so they have a bit of a damage increase. And I think for Falstad this is going to be much, much easier. Kara was definitely struggling in game number 1 with Thrall at the beginning. Towards the end we had some of the quest rewards, but it was simply too little too late and didn't have that big of an impact anymore. Well, way at the top, bit of a body block here on Rexa, and alright. They're not able to kill him. But they're still... Okay, Falstad is coming. I was just about to say, they still need some assistance. And Rexa, I don't know if he wanted to bait them, but that's definitely not the start that they wanted. First, they took down Rexa, and then they're killing very quickly after that Falstad. So, yeah, that definitely hurts. Rexa put to sleep, and then eliminated, so that's a kill. Falstad gets murdered too. That's a fantastic start for them right now. So they're getting one kill after another, and then they're right there at the wall. Can take the first tower down, escort the mercenary camp in, and do even more damage. So they are off to a fantastic start here. And keep in mind, if they're winning this one, if they take the victory here, then this is all over. So yeah, that's the next one. And yeah, time will tell. For now though, what we're getting is all the way up at the top. The attack against Isnes, and yes, he's dead. 3 kills to 0. Yeah, well, this is starting to hurt a little bit. This is actually hurting a lot, so this is going to get a little bit dicey. 3 kills to 0, half-level lead. The blue team, oh sorry, the red team might be in for a pretty rough ride. Quack team had a very, very strong start here. And again, they're already in the lead in the series. On the objective, on the other hand, I mean, maybe they can get the Dragonite. Maybe they can at least go for the structures. But when it comes to the kill count and the XP in general, then the blue team is definitely reigning supreme here. And they're retaking the control at the top. So there's no Dragonite just yet for Hit the Core. They have at the bottom of the map a chance to take down Sylvanas though. And Sylvanas makes it. 15 stacks for Falstad. Went on level 4, of course, then into the follow-up with the static shield. So heavily speccing into the lightning rod build. They have Zagara for bot lane pressure, and she's able to do some damage, but we haven't seen a wall destroyed or anything of the sorts. Level 7 and another kill. Oh my god. I mean, 4 kills to 0, and it honestly looks like they are just continuing where they left off in game number 1. Quack team had such a great standing on the first map, and now they are doing the same here. They're coming in with lots of aggression. They're taking control early on, get kills, win the team fights. Death timers are still low, so you can only benefit to a certain extent from this. But yeah, they are doing really, really well here. And this could quickly become a huge problem for Hit the Core. They're losing now camps at the bottom of the map. There's obviously still the pressure on the objective too. At a minimum, we have now both teams on level 7, so that helps. Which gives us, in this case, the Thunder Strikes for Falstad. Top side pressure against Hogger as well. But down here, the wall is slowly falling, getting destroyed. And even Isnes on Johanna is now in trouble, now that we have Sylvanas coming in. Falstad is trying to stack and really bring in the damage. With 19, he's only 1 stack away from getting the extra 30% damage, which is of course going to be big. At 45 then, we have the cooldown reduction and of course even more of a damage increase. So Falstad really needs to get there. They need that output from him. Oh, and well, Rhaegar is gone. Yeah, they're definitely banking on Falstad a lot with the numbers here in team fights. Zagara is going to contribute, but Falstad is going to be the main damage dealer for them, or at least that's the idea here. The birdie taking some control at the bottom of the map. Barely makes it out as Tychus, Tyrael, is trying to get control again. They are pushing for this objective. And they're now ahead by a level. So Quack team, they just want to run this like a... They want to do this like a speed run. They are trying to speedrun in game number 2 and make this an easy 2-0 victory. And it seems like they're going to get the Dragonite. And yep, Zagara was too late at the bottom of the map. She was too late, so the Dragonite is now taken. We have the 20 stacks for Falstad at least. But here are the level 10 abilities for the Quack team. They got Judgment, we have Mind Control, Nano Boost. And the attack comes straight in for Rhaegar, who is the first target and is able to get out. So yeah, good for him. At least they didn't lose anybody here. Low on mana when we're talking Tyrael, so yeah, he tries to escape. We have still the fort heavily attacked in the middle and likely gonna get destroyed now that we have another minion wave moving in. Inspire buff already triggering some extra damage. And we're 6 minutes into the game with 5 kills to 0 and the first fort falls. So yeah, that hurts. Zagara was able to counter pressure at the bottom of the map to an extent and drop at least a wall, but it's obviously not an exchange that you're going to be too happy about. Now, well, we have right now 24 stacks for Falstad. His damage numbers are starting to slowly increase. Once that we're seeing him at 45, this is going to be a big one, and then on the pinnacle we are going to have the stun too. When it comes to damage, he is the top damage dealer of the team already with roughly 15,000. Hogger 20,000 for the blue team, 15,000 for both Sylvanas and Jaina. So in the damage department, they're way ahead. Hogger, he's still going for the camp, and that has been sniffed out by Isnes, but Jojo alone won't be able to make a difference there in that fight. If they had the rest of the team in, or Falstad would fly, then, I mean, maybe they can make a risky play, but they decided against it. So Siege Giant's now taken down at the bottom of the map. It's still a 1 level gap between the teams, but the fact alone that Hit the Core hasn't gotten a kill yet, it kind of worries me a little bit. So Hogger is moving out at the bottom. They got a 3-man push going on. At the top lane, it's a trap. The Admiral Akbar moment. Isnes still sitting in the shadows here. He can definitely help once they make their move. And they're jumping in, but the mind control misses. Mind control misses. Jojo's immediately there. Falstad says hello. The blue team with a nice trap, but it might backfire against them. Oh, it might not, because now we have Rexa in trouble and he gets killed. It works out after all. The fort will be destroyed. But to be fair, this time Hit the Core at least has the presence at the bottom of the map that allows them to take a fort out too. So the gap is widening. It's becoming a huge problem. But they're trying to at least limit the bleeding to a certain extent. Level 13 talents are now ready, and it's more than a level difference between the two teams. So it's tricky. 2 forts have been destroyed against 1. Structural advantage. Again, ooh, Tyrael is a bit far out here. So yeah, Falstad is coming in. Gets a few more stacks and also nice damage against Anna. But they're still waiting for kill number 1. 83 stacks for Sylvanas. She's has a lot to do until she gets to a point where she can seriously threaten something here. With the rewards that she's going to get. I mean, even 250 is not that easy to grab. The pinnacle reward at 400, that's going to take you a while. But they are controlling the game. Now, we have an additional digital objective now. So they could fight for that. Medusa Blades, by the way, for Wookiee when it comes to pressure. They're about to hit their own level 13 talent and are hoping, of course, for Dragonite now as well. The aggression at the bottom of the map is this time continuing. Quark team, they want the kill on Falstad. And the bird's the word. There's the chicken. They get the quest completed for Joanna, though. I mean, you don't want to lose a hero, but if you at a minimum then get the level 4 quest completed, that's something. Subdue, that's huge. That's a massive, massive advantage that they now have in those team fights. Nice Ancestral also to save Rhaegar. Saved himself. They got a Maw out against Jaina. That fight obviously not over. And Rexa's pushing at the top. But now the kill on Rhaegar. And the kill on Jojo. Guys, they're getting murdered. Somebody call the care police. Because there's a crime in progress right there. If I don't hear sirens in a couple of minutes, then I don't know what to say. Because this is nuts. 9 kills to 0. Nearly a 2-level advantage. Hogger is pogging out at the bottom, so it seems that at least Rexa is getting value. He took a fort out at the top, so we gotta give him that. And, ooh, he might actually be able to get the kill. Yeah! Hogger! Goodbye, my friend. Hogger gets crushed, so he's gone. Still bad for them. I mean, it's still bad, but at least they were able to get themselves a kill on a fort. So, there's that. No keep has been lost yet. But the blue team in the driver's seat. Continuously. Now they might have a problem though. That flank is something that I believe they didn't necessarily see coming. Tyrael judgment on Rexa. More so to get out of the fight than actually threatening Rexa. But they go for Jaina. Ice block. Can she turn it? She's trying. And they go for Rexa and they drop him. And Rhaegar is also dead. I feel a bit bad for them right now. I actually feel a bit bad. Sylvanas is stacking like a monster at this point. She's really increased the numbers over the last few fights. It's 11 kills to 1. To be fair, they finally got at least 1 kill. They got at least 1 kill. You gotta appreciate that. So it's not gonna be a perfect game or anything of the sorts. But the objective is still up on the map, and with a 2-level advantage and a talent lead, the blue team is now trying for another Dragonite. We have Isnes down at the bottom of the map trying to get himself some control. Falstad is topside attempting to deal with Tyrael. Could be able to get some more damage out. Yeah, maybe some stacks too. Tyrael is following still. Wants judgment, gets interrupted, and is likely gonna die now. No way. These guys just can't get kills, can they? Oh my god. The Gust, the Ancestral, and the bird is dead. I feel so bad for them now. They wanted Tyrael, they couldn't get him, and then the flank comes and they are losing Falstad. 29 stacks for the birdie. We have 16 in a moment, but this should be another Dragonite for the team. Hello, what was that? Hogger? Somebody needs new glasses. What was that, dude? I mean, I don't know where he was looking, but he saw double. I think he's nursing a hangover or something. Look at this. So, yeah, apparently the New Year's party is still having some lasting effects on Hogger. That stun, if that connects, I think they're losing at a minimum another hero. So, unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get this one. But they got the Dragon Knight. So, Hogger is now on the Dragon Knight, and they are aiming for the first keep at the bottom of the map. 12 kills to 1. Lots and lots of momentum and damage right now. Dragon Knight went in a bit deep though and is eating tons of damage right away from not only Zagara but also the keep itself, until finally we have Sylvanas moving in and helping him out here. But I'm not sure they're going to get this one. They're going to lose the Dragon Knight quickly. Now this is a 12-minute Dragon Knight, so it's not really that powerful yet. It hasn't scaled that aggressively. But they could have gotten a bit more out of that situation, I think. 2-level gap still. Oh, hello, Jaina, careful. Misha is the one that goes down. Unbearable. Unbearable. Misha is jumping into the fight, and then Jaina gets attacked, but she's just like, hey, bear with me for a moment here. I got this. I can turn this one. Fallout, on the other hand, he definitely doesn't have it. Dies again. They get Jaina eliminated. The keep's still standing, and the blue team is actually low here. The blue team is low. There's a chance. There's a chance to follow up with kills, but if we learned one thing during this game, then it is that for some reason Hit the Core is just not able to get the kills. Every single time that they look like they could perfectly kill 2-3 heroes, the blue team is able to get out of the fight without losing anybody. And this might just be exactly that situation again. No, actually they get one. Hogger sacrifices himself for the team, realizes that at least one of them will be caught, and then becomes a sacrificial pawn. We got 38,000 damage now for Zagara. Falstad is at 28,000. It's actually Falstad is now behind Jojo, behind Johanna, and behind Rexa, and behind Zagara. The bird with not as much damage as we would have expected here. 51,000 for Jaina, and 47,000 for Sylvanas on the other side. And of course, the blue team is now about to hit Storm Talons. So they will have level 20 and will try to leverage this to get themselves another Dragon Knight, get themselves some keeps, and maybe even end the game in the series. But the red team is still fighting. I mean, they're trying. They're doing what they can. They even steal the camp away here. But here's level 20 now, and that's the moment where you probably should move away, but they have a numbers advantage on the map, just not in the fight, because Zagara isn't here. They are still trying to get the kill on Tyrael, and you know what? They got really close here. So Zagara is dealing with the middle. They're catching up in experience. There was a much, much bigger gap earlier, but now it's been reduced to 1 level. Still a lot, but yeah. They were catching up a bit with hero experience because of the big gap when they got their kills. But they're pushing and pushing and pushing, and they very much need to be careful here. You can't overstay your welcome in that situation because, again, boys, your opponent has level 20 talents. Setting Nisha to the front is one thing, but you gotta be very, very careful. Isness is getting away here. Rest escapes through the middle. They have half a level to bridge. Objective is up on the map, and I'm actually a bit surprised that the blue team is not more aggressively trying to get it. Instead, they're sacrificing Sylvanas. Yeah, that was a present right there. Late Christmas present, apparently. Sylvanas got too cocky after how well they were playing throughout the game, and then she gets murdered. But then, to be fair, Hit the Core also is way too confident after they get the kill, and they're losing Rhaegar. Very cool move from the Quack team. They see an opportunity, they jump in, and just bam, blow Rhaegar up. Now it's a 4 versus 4. No heal, no sustain, and the bird is dead again. Falstad dying once more. They get a counter kill on Jaina, but then Zagara gets killed. There's a big wave at the top lane, by the way, pushing for the red team. So this could help them to get to the keep there. But down here, another attack. Rexa this time murdered. Johanna still alive. The only survivor, and not for long. It's a 5-man team wipe. And now, yes, the catapults, they do damage topside. They break the wall. They take the towers down. The keep is not going to take damage. But the blue team will likely get themselves another Dragon Knight now. We're talking 17 minutes in the game. We have level 20 talents now on both sides. And, of course, Hit the Core will be back on the map with their entire lineup for the defense. We're blinded by the light on level 20. And on top of that, more importantly, I suppose, the Pack Instinct for Zagara and the Farseer's Blessing. 18 kills to 5. 18 kills to 5. Falstad has died 5 times so far. Anna and Tyrael are the only ones that haven't died yet. They take the Dragon Knight, can time the camp a bit, and let's see how much they can do here. Rexa will be back. Jojo will be back. How much can they do with the defense? Zagara, in particular, should be able to do a lot against the Dragon Knight here. So, I don't think they can go and end the game here. It's a bit too early. That Dragon Knight is going to hit hard. I doubt that it's going to hit hard enough. I don't think so, but we'll see. Baited in very deep, gets attacked by 2 keeps. 1 keep lost quickly, but that's exactly what I was talking about. Now we're down to 50 seconds and 36% of its HP, so that Dragon Knight is definitely not going to allow them to go for the core. If you get baited in that deep between 2 keeps and then you take that free damage, it's not going to help you. Falstad is on 40 stacks now, so that means another 5 stacks and he has a huge power spike on that level 1 talent. Cooldown reduction plus damage increase. Better late than never. It's really going to help them here. Judgment is in! And he's at 44 stacks. Is soon going to get more. And then we could see Falstad bring some big numbers in. If he can avoid dying. Oh, the gust angle. He walks around them for the mighty gust. And that actually worked. Dude, that was risky as hell. But it worked. And they're taking Hogger down. But holy cow, that was something. So the quest reward is now there. And yeah, it's getting big damage out. And all of a sudden, that Sylvana's gone. And that's Anna gone. They get 3 kills. And Falstad is able to stack a lot more quickly, too. So he's now 20 stacks away from getting his final reward. But getting the cooldown reduction here and also the damage increase really, really helped. So Falstad is all of a sudden somebody that's going to have an impact in this game. Unless he, of course, gets focused and dies. But that allows them to now push to the bottom of the map with Siege Giants. And keep in mind that with Zagara in particular, they can take structures down quickly. Guys, the blue team is all of a sudden in a really awkward spot. That's 18 kills to 8 and they're dead for another 30 seconds. That keep is gone. And now hit the core. They're actually going to hit the core. They're going for it. They have too much time. They're going for it. They're saying, boys, we got this. They were defending the entire game. And now they think they have an opportunity to win it outright. Tyrael with Judgment. They go for Falstad. Blessed Shield. Falstad and Rhaegar are both dead. The core is at 50% though. Mighty Gust has been used. They hit the core. Is hitting the core. Can they take it? 25%. Zagara with the damage 10. And they win it. They win the game. They are behind by 13 kills and they just won the second map. Tie the series and force game number 3. 6.5 out of 10 moment right here. It is comeback time, baby. Coming up next, we have the 3rd map of the series. If you guys enjoy the content, also consider to head over to patreon.com/Khaldor. Support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive there. It's the best way to support the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that is already a supporter. You guys are really helping to keep this alive and you help us to host event after event for the game here. Especially after Blizzard abandoning this already 7 years ago. It's absolutely fantastic that we're still able to do this here. So big shout out to all of the supporters. And again, if you enjoy the coverage, if you would like to support us, head over there and check it out. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the next game. Final map, hit the core. They made it happen. They changed sides after that, by the way, so don't be confused by the consistent side swapping from the teams. But I gotta give it to Hit the Core. They stayed true to the team name, came in, they hit the core and won the video game. So good for them. Awesome stuff. Over on the left side, we got Isnes on Muradin, Silver Jojo on Rhaegar, Dwergman on Blaze, Kara's playing Li Ming this time, so no pinnacle reward, Force Armor on level 1. Wookie for the 2nd time on Zagara, 100% win rate on Zagara in this series, so they're trying to continue that. Vlida for the Quack team with ETC, with Angois on Sylvanas, Bayoza on Tychus, Vetters again on Dehaka. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. And then we got Saren on Anduin. The Dehaka performance that we saw in game number 1 was awesome. If they can play on a similar level here, then whew, blue team is going to be in for a rough ride. Now, to be totally fair, they were already in for a pretty rough awakening in game number 2, and it looked for a long time like we would see a 2-0 victory with a bit of a speed run from the Quack team. But then Hit the Core, showing up when it mattered most and proving once again that the game is not over until the fat lady sings. It's not over until it's over, so you can't become condescending just because you are 18 kills ahead. At some point, you might still lose the game simply because your opponent has a team composition that just caters way more towards lane pushing, and in the late game, those death timers, they can be brutal. If you lose your entire team for a minute or more, then all of a sudden your opponent has a chance to make it happen. So yeah, there's that. Now, as is, we have a couple of camps obviously being focused on. The main tank this time for the red team with ETC. Level 1, we get the block party. And the red team will very heavily, again, hinge their damage on Sylvanas, but also Tychus. Sylvanas, of course, with the baseline quest now. Nice damage already at the bottom of the map through Dwergman's Blaze as he's pushing the camp through the towers. The reaction from the Quack team, maybe a bit late here. It's the best of 3 series, of course, so we see who's going to take it. And well, as we're still early, again, quick reminder, we have the Nations Cup coming up at the end of the month. $10,000 of prize money broken down to essentially all the teams that make it into the playoffs. Multiple teams from a country can sign up, by the way. Slight change to the last Nations Cup that we've been running. So even if you're looking at the signed up teams and you're realizing that there's already a team playing for your country, you can still sign up another one if you want to. It's an open tournament, so anybody can sign up if you get a team together there. So check that out. It's going to be awesome. Honestly, the Nations Cup is going to be great. We have so many cool teams already signed up and many more to come. We have teams currently from the Netherlands, from Germany, from Russia, Poland. French team has signed up. Second German team will likely sign up, and I believe the same is going to be true for France as well. So yeah, there's plenty of teams that are going to sign up for this. And it's going to be an awesome tournament. It's going to be fantastic. And I think we're going to see some familiar names that haven't played for a while too. The one thing that we're not seeing is Sylvanas surviving this and escaping. So yeah, that's 1 kill for Hit the Core. So they're starting with first blood here. Tychus within the rhythm on level 1. And up on the top lane, Buki is getting some damage in against the structures here. Tychus might just use that same build that we saw in game number 1. Down at the bottom of the map with the first seed now active, it seems like the blue team actually had hopes of stealing this one away. The spawn position obviously much better for the red team, but eventually they will have to let this one go. The interrupts are still coming. They're buying themselves a bit of time here, but they're also giving more opportunities to the red team to look for a kill. Or maybe just for a few stacks for Tychus. Seed is eventually claimed, as you would expect. It's one for the red team. Down here, yeah, next attack already in. The level 4 talents, we also got Thunderburn. So it's going to be healing static on level 13 for Muradin. Came through on level 1 with the third wind, so yeah, survivability. It's one of the reasons why they attacked with Muradin at the top and were totally willing to tank all the damage here as they were sitting next to the tower, because with third wind he got that back very quickly. Li Ming on level 7 with Seeker, so we're not seeing Calamity here. And Muradin went for Give Him the Axe, so they're going for extra damage with him. And then Relentless Soldier for Tychus, so he is going into the same build that we've previously seen already on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Oh, Rega, careful. This was nearly a dead doggy. Seems like Tychus is not a cat person. Sorry, it's more of a cat person, not a dog person. There's that. But yeah, Kara right on the money here. Ooh, and they're starting to kick the little dwarves around here. Okay, so the garden dwarves, the garden gnomes are getting kicked around. First one is already aggressively pushed around on the map. Now Tychus, nice stacks for him, good. Gets a lot of stacks in here actually. So early progress is going to allow him to get a nice duration increase on his minigun to deal with that front line. Next seed is up, and this time it's a more neutral spot between the two teams and between the two times. So we'll see what they can do here. We have currently a chance to see them pull ahead with 2-0, and that's actually exactly what they're going to do. They also want the lick on Zagara, and yeah, not quite. So Zagara survives, but that's 2 seeds to 0. The blue team is trying to get a bit ahead by getting the siege giants at the bottom of the map. And thanks to them running 3 heroes, 4 heroes down here, and the Inspire buff, they are dropping that fort. So that seed really came at a cost. Yeah, that seed really came at a cost. 1 seed for 1 fort. Hit the core is in a much better spot than they were in any of the games thus far. It's not a lot of kills, but they have a 1 level advantage, more or less. They've just taken the first fort out. They're doing well here. Yeah, that could be a problem for the Quack team. I mean, psychologically alone, if you're in the second map and you're so close to winning game number 2 and you want to see that 2-0 win, and then you lose it just because your opponent takes that one big team fight and then leverage the strength of their composition to just roll over you, it can be super frustrating. So if that tilts them, that could very well end up with them losing the series. If they can fully just reset and really rely on their strengths and play to the same level that we've seen in game number 1 and game number 2 until things went wrong, I think they have a good shot. Wailing Arrow. Yeah, level 10 on both sides now, but Dehaka is the one that falls. There's the mosh pit. Can they get the counter kill? Dehaka is gone. There's a light bomb. They go for Li Ming, but Tychus is in trouble, and that's a double kill. All of a sudden, we have hit the core with 4 kills. 4. They're taking down Sylvanas too. Guys, hit the core is gaining momentum, and now they're going for Anduin. The body block is there, and that's 5 kills to 0. And a mad push now all of a sudden for the blue team. Oh boy. This might be a disaster for the Quack team. This could be an absolute disaster. Huge plays now for the team in blue, and they are pulling ahead farther and farther. That is 26 stacks on Tychus, 47 on Sylvanas, but Zagara is pushing the top. Blaze gets them the first seed, and lots of damage done here already. Sylvanas is saying hello and is going to push this back a little bit, but still it cost them half the HP of the top side fort. In the middle, they're losing even more. Haymaker getting used. They're trying for ETC, and he dies again. ETC gone. 6 kills to 0. More than a level advantage currently for the blue team, and they are doing an amazing job here. That is going to tax the red team. They really have to now dig deep. I believe this is the first time in this series that they're this far ahead and struggling this much. We'll see if they can recover from it or not, because currently we're seeing Hit the Core trying to turn that snowball into an avalanche. They're pushing through the top. They want fort number 2. I don't think they can be stopped here. Sylvanas and ETC, they're not going to be enough to stop this, so this is going to be one fort that gets eliminated. The blue team is still rolling the dice a bit. They have a range build for Li Ming without Calamity, so that means that they're going on level 13 into Glass Cannon. Finally a kill also for the Quack team as they get the coordinated attack onto Blaze, and before he can even drop the bunker, he's just dead. That level 13 talent doesn't give them the lead that they were hoping for, and I suppose this is the moment when the Quack team gets themselves Garden Terrors. That might be the one tool that brings them back into this game. They're still a level behind. They're talent behind. Haymaker used as ETC is trying to escape. Not sure. Okay, Anduin to the rescue. Garden Terrors at the top. Have a long way to go. They're trying to prep the lane before the Garden Terror even arrives. That lazy bastard is coming from all the way back from Narnia. In the middle, at the bottom of the map, the defenders are doing their job. Both of those Garden Terrors are essentially defeated. Still a bit questionable whether it would have been better or not for the red team to not focus onto the top lane, but just move into the middle and go for the fort there. But they are starting to do damage now topside, and I suppose they're going to get this one. So at least structurally, they're starting to catch up a little bit. Not too much just yet, but hey. Baby steps. Baby steps. One at a time. Muradin wants another Haymaker. Rhaegar gets attacked. Alright. Muradin is instantly losing hit points to Tychus, who adds more stacks to his In the Rhythm on level 4. And yeah, Muradin still needs to be careful. But they're getting a Stormbolt connected on Sylvanas, and she's dead. Sylvanas dead. Now the Maw on ETC, and I suppose that's another kill for them. ETC, yeah. So, yeah, 8 kills to 1. Ha! Hit the Core might have just... Yeah, they might have lost their topside fort and taken some damage, but they are extending the lead in experience further. And they got their kills. So now we have at the bottom of the map, Dehaka still pressuring. Keep in mind also that they are the only team that have a global here. Yeah. Deaga, as I said before, he played some great games and now he's doing big damage on Wookiee. Misses his ult though. I don't really think that hitting the ult here would have necessarily allowed them to kill Zagara, but he is doing great in these 1v1s. The moment that Rhaegar appears, that battle is obviously over, but still. Mirror Ball on 16 now for Li Ming. We have on top of that the Imposing Presence for Muradin, and then we're getting the Corrosive Saliva for Zagara. It's tough. Bridging that 2-level gap is going to be tough. And for the blue team, either play aggressive and invade these camps or try and push for the fort in the middle, I suppose. Yeah, Li Ming is trying to take the safe position over here. Stormbolt, Light Bomb. They're going all in on that fight. Muradin with a Haymaker. In the back, we get again Dehaka with the damage. This time against Li Ming. She has Glass Cannon, keep that in mind. But they're just not able to get that kill. And Tychus is fully isolated now, is attempting to escape. Highly unlikely that's going to be able to get out. They're going to catch him eventually. Rhaegar has already been killed, and they actually let Tychus go. They're actually going to let him go, aren't they? Blaze has now decided that he wants to kill him after all. Yeah, he's going to die. No way. No way. He makes it. Tychus, never give up, never surrender. He makes it out of the fight, and the red team got a kill on Rhaegar. So, I don't know. Can he still come back here? 27,000 damage from Tychus currently. We got 20,000 for Li Ming with their glass cannon build. It's amazing to me that this fort is still standing. I really thought once they hit 16 that the blue team would just YOLO into the middle and take that one out. But yeah, they were forcing the fight around the camp instead. I guess they can still go for that battle. But it's going to be a 16 versus 16 fight if they actually accept it. Well, Li Ming tries for the range damage and slowly gets there. And that's the end of the fort. Took them a little bit longer to claim it. But, yeah, they got it now. Sylvana said 3 times. She's the main target for Hit the Core. 78 stacks for her on her baseline, so it's going to take a while until she starts getting quest rewards here. But now we have the next seed popping up, and this is the moment where the blue team could really hurt them. Because this spawn position is amazing for them. Hit the Core has a great chance of getting the Garden Terror here. It's 16 versus 16 on the talent count, so at least it would be an even battle if the Quack team forces it. But if Garden Terrors are now being taken, we're only 13 minutes in. Blizzard has adjusted the map in the recent patches, so now the later you are in the game, the scaling is... there's more scaling going on the objective. Garden Terrors were made stronger to begin with. But, yeah, the late game objective is now way more impactful. So now we're still fairly early. But it would still hurt them. And we have every single fort already eliminated, so we would talk keeps at this point. Here comes Odin. Yeah, Dehaka again with a lick. Wailing Arrow also utilized. They're still totally fine here. But that choke point is a problem. Choke point control is everything right now. And, well, ETC is looking for a mosh pit opportunity, of course. They're coming in on Rhaegar here, who tried the channel but had to abandon it. As long as Odin is in play, they have the range tools. Yeah, Bunker, Rhaegar, and the Ancestral is too late. Once again, it's Dehaka that tees up the kill for them. We have the big attack coming with a quick Haymaker against ETC. They're chasing hard. ETC gets saved and went low. Dehaka trying to escape too over on the left. They're losing Sylvanas, and now Dehaka is going to become the next victim. Eats the stun from Blaze. Here come the Garden Terrors, and this is going to hurt. This is going to be bad for the team in red. They are going to suffer here. 1.5 level gap. 2 heroes are currently dead. Rhaegar will be back first. Garden Terrors should do damage. If they're pushing with them, there is... I mean, at a minimum, they should take some of these walls out. And of course, now Hit the Core is inching closer and closer to a level 20 talent, which will give them a huge advantage for a pretty significant period of time. But the defense in the middle is active, so they are taking this out as quickly as they can. I don't expect that there's too much more happening than the walls getting destroyed and the towers. But who knows? Zagara is pushing at the bot lane, and she, in addition to the Garden Terror, is of course going to have a lot of damage here. Inspire buff in and of itself, helping out with the minion wave. The same is true up at the top. Rest of the team is pushing through the middle. They have their storm talents now. And we get Archon. Archon for Li Ming. And she's just going full on laser show. The Grand Slam. And Li Ming is just lasering this down slowly and steadily. Zagara has opened the wall up and is damaging the keep too. Keep in the middle, very, very low. Li Ming firing away still and should be able to take this one eventually. Even at the bottom of the map, with Zagara now pushing once again and triggering the Inspire buff on the minions, they are going to potentially get this second keep. And yeah, this bad boy is low and finally gone. So that's 2 keeps gone. The Quack team is with a back to the wall. The Quack team is with a back to the wall at this point. They are in serious trouble here. 39,000 damage for Zagara. 39,000 for Li Ming. 2 forts still standing. Guys, that mid and that bot lane, they're going to be so difficult to deal with now. Catapults on every minion wave from here on out. It's gonna be brutal. Dealing with this is so difficult. I'm not sure they can survive long enough. And once again, game number 2. If Hit the Core would have given up on the second map, this would have been a clean 2-0 victory. But they just believed. They clawed their way back. They dug their heels in. Didn't give up. Didn't rage quit or anything. And just believed in their chance to turn the game around. Pulled off an amazing comeback on the second map. And now we are here in game number 3. And they have the chance to win this. They haven't taken it yet. If they become complacent here, the Quack team is still going to wreck them. But they have now all the cards. Because yes, we're going to have level 20 versus level 20. But with so many structures already lost, the Quack team would need a massive teamfight victory. If ETC can get a fantastic mosh, things might look different. Now it's even fights again. Nobody has a seed, so it's all about the team fights for now. And yeah, we'll see how that plays out. A lot of creep spread at the bottom of the map too. We got death metal for ETC, so he's going to play aggressive with this. They have to stay away from him. Bolt of the Storm is here. First seed just given up. They don't really care about it anyways. But yeah, for the blue team, they can technically play this really slow now. They can play this slow. Get vision on the map with Zagara spreading creep. Take as many campers as you can. Dodge team fights. Let the bot lane and the mid lane push against the core. Your opponent will have to always retreat and send somebody back to deal with it. And then hope to take more seats and claim the objective. This is likely what they're going to do. Stall out any fight over here, any claim, if the Quack team contests. And let the catapults do their thing. They can play quite the smart game here now. It might not necessarily win them the game outright, but if they play this smart, they can make this insanely difficult for the red team. Dehaka is the one that is now at the bottom of the map. They have to leverage the global. That's the one thing they have really going for themselves, that they at least have that. But ETC gets attacked. Keep in mind, he's level 20. Yeah, and they're already push back here. Grand Slam being used by Murden as another charge, and they can try and go for that seed. Dehaka is now slowly moving towards the middle. But there's catapults in the mid lane, there's catapults at the bottom of the map. They want that second seed, and they want to start to threaten the next set of Garden Terrors, and those Garden Terrors would likely end the game. Second seed has been taken, now they can just fall back. Second seed is in, they can now simply start moving back again and let the catapults do their thing. It's not only the catapults, I mean, we got siege giants at the top, so the top side keep is now also taking damage, so that has to be dealt with. Anon is the only one so far. ETC is moving in to help him out, but yeah, that's half of the HP gone from the final keep that you're running here. Bit of a trap set up as they're going for the siege giants, and the Quack team, they need to force a fight. It's really awkward because the situation is completely different right now. The incentives for the two teams are totally different. For the blue team, they have any incentive right now to not take a fight. If their forts get attacked, if something else gets pushed, then they will, of course, have to fight. But they have zero incentives to be aggressive. Red team, insanely difficult. They need a fight. It's the only way back into the game. There's no other way to bring this back. So this position for the next seed is horrible for the Quack team. It's absolutely atrocious. Have fun fighting this. If Hit the Core plays this super slow now, they should get... They might just win the game right there. If the Haka, on the other hand, is able to tunnel in at the perfect angle, get maybe a good connect with Li Ming, then they might be able to slowly bring this back. But if you just look at the situation as is right now, there's the Haka. The Haka is coming. The Haka is coming. Perfect dodge. Perfect dodge on the jet propulsion. Goes for Li Ming. That's great. But she's still alive. They got the Ancestral out, though. Very early Ancestral. And now Muradin is dead. The red team with some good moves. Really nice moves from the red team all of a sudden. The blue team was panicking a little bit. They dropped the Ancestral mega early. Muradin died. And now the seed is still up. Catapults are pushing through the bottom of the map towards the core now. But the kill on Muradin and baiting these cooldowns out was massive. So yeah, nicely done. Now they need to try and get that channel. And they need to get it quickly before Muradin is back. They will buy themselves a little bit more time. Li Ming with Archon. The interrupt is not happening. They get the seed. They get the seed. If they get a kill, fantastic. But if not, they gotta get out. And Li Ming gets the kill and the reset. And they have to fall back. Catapults are on the core. 3 of them. That's big damage and a big push through the middle now too. Sylvanas has to try and make this happen. Uses possession here, but the core is falling. 70%. They need to get their heroes back. 60%. They stayed too long. They should have sent them back a little bit sooner. They were hoping for a kill on Blaze, and it didn't work out. They lost instead Tychus, and then they lost 57% on their core. Getting the seed was important, but after that, you gotta back the hell out of there. Catapults hurt too much. And now we have more camps at the bottom of the map, of course. Yeah, they're bullying a couple of the garden gnomes here still on the map. Next seed is up. They have to fight for it again. And this could be the end of the game. Look at that bot lane pressure. 2 catapults already. And a mercenary camp. If you don't win the fight right now, it is lights out. Yeah, here comes the Haymaker once more. As Light Bomb was attempted to be used from ETC. This is bad. This is really bad. Down at the bottom of the map. Look at this. 22 minutes in. Catapults, Winions. They give up the seed. That's Garden Terrors. That's Garden Terrors. I do not think they can defend against this. I don't think they can defend against Garden Terrors this late in the game. Not without them having lost 2 of their keeps already. Hit the core, ladies and gentlemen. Never give up. Never surrender. Game number 2. Massive 6.5 out of 10 moment. They pulled the comeback off. They made it happen. And now they're reaping the rewards. It would need a miracle for the Quack team to still survive here. Absolute fantastic. Hit the core with a big performance here. The last keep about to fall. Vedas on the Haka is doing what he can, but the core is indeed falling. They're hitting it hard, and they're winning the series. A 2-1 victory here in Division 2 of HeroesLounge.gg for the blue team. Nicely done, GG, and well played.